LASEPA has sealed several establishments, including the Redeemed Christian Church of God Parish, hotels, and other businesses for allegedly violating noise pollution regulations. The enforcement operation carried out in Mushi, Amuwo, Odofin, and Okota, Isolo was part of LASEPA's ongoing efforts to promote a healthier and more sustainable environment in Lagos. In a statement shared on its X handle on Thursday, LASEPA identified the affected establishments as Daily Bakery, Redeemed Christian Church of God, GAC Universal Allied Limited, Ideal Standard, Fran Jane Royal Suites, Garden Haven Resort and Suites, Festival Hotel Conference Center and Spa, FS Service Center, and Moulin Round Ventures at Oliver Mall. These establishments were reportedly shut down for failing to comply with environmental standards despite receiving prior warnings. Dr. Babatunde Ajayi, General Manager of LASEPA, emphasized the agency's zero-tolerance approach towards activities that endanger public health and community well-being. He said, environmental protection is a shared responsibility. As a government agency, we are committed to enforcing all necessary measures to ensure compliance with environmental laws. Noise pollution, the improper siting of hazardous facility, and other infractions severely impact public health and quality of life. We urge businesses and individuals to prioritize compliance and adopt sustainable practices, Ajayi said. He further encouraged Lagosians to report environmental violations through LASEPA's official channels, highlighting the importance of collective action in safeguarding the environment. Mr. Marachi, you know that these churches, they are 10 miles from each other. Before you move from 1 mile, actually, there's a plaza opposite my house, and in that plaza, there are 2 churches.
Yeah.
Now, the music is clash on Sunday. Now I'll be like, so which one am I supposed to dance to? Now I'm back from my own church, but these churches, this is going on. What are your thoughts on noise pollution as regards to churches and, you know, I suppose this environmental hazards?
I actually think it's beyond what we say. It's beyond what we do, because apart from, let's say, churches, yeah, of course. Like, I know of Redeemed Church, they have this 5 minutes kind of vision whereby you build a church 5 minutes from, like, I think 5 minutes drive or 5 minutes walkway. So I just know, like, the words, if you go to Abba, because see, a building has like 10 churches, like a story building, like have different churches, and then you're coming down from yours, you're entering another church.
Wow.
You have to pass through another church before you come down. So it's actually stressful, truth be told. I know that we serve a living God, we love Jesus, and we want to go to church. That's why I respect some churches that go to places that are not where people actually live to build a church, because it could be noisy, actually, truth be told. It could be noisy. I go to church, I love God with all my life, but I wouldn't understand why people would want to just, some of them, they do program like every day.
We haven't even got into the night vigils.
They do program like every day. That's why I like my church and other churches that I've been to. They have specific time to do what they want to do, knowing that you're staying where people are living, people are sleeping, kids are there. And some mothers just gave birth and their baby didn't let them rest throughout the day, and the baby wants to sleep at night, and then you're still there doing your stuff, and then the baby wakes up again and the mother is stressed out. So it actually affects people's mental health sometimes. I know they might not see it as bad. They'll be like, people need to know about God. People need to love God. I love God too, but I just think there's a way they could do it. There's a way they can make the sound, compress the sound. Like having this, there are churches that you could pad the walls.
Right.
They pad their walls, and then it's like the sound is in there. When you come outside, you don't hear it. Once you just jam the door, you don't hear it from outside.
You know, for how much as it is, not many churches can afford.
Yeah, true.
Right, not many churches can afford. What are your thoughts on some form of sanction where churches and, you know, clubs, because clubs, you go to GRA, I don't know how people over there sleep. Right? Clubs and all of those what are your thoughts about those people that have such businesses, having their businesses cited outskirts of where people actually live, like you earlier mentioned? What are your thoughts if government sets up a policy of that magnitude to curb the noise?
It's actually a good thing if government does that, like we said. because it's actually going to help a lot of people. It's going to help. There's this serenity. People like me. I love a quiet place. I love when I want to sleep, I sleep. When I'm in church, I know I'm in church. When I'm in my house, I know I'm in my house. And my house, there are no churches, so it's like quiet, and it gives me this time to think. Most people don't think in rowdy areas, in crowded places. So if it's possible, and the government could give these businesses a place that is not close to, it could be like you know, there are these plazas where just business are there. So the church could just be there.
Like the one I'm talking about. It's a plaza, there are businesses.
No,
there's one at the right, there's one at the left.
At least there are no people living there, that's what I mean. There could be places that...
I live just behind.
Oh, wow.
I live just behind, so the music is on me.
If it's going to be possible, it will be a very good idea, because I know church is something we want. We all want. Of course, we all want to be. We want to be close to God.
Right.
Personally, I'm both in church. For me, I don't have an issue if they are close to me, but lots of people have that challenge of... Most of them, they could have insomnia because of that. They can't sleep, and then they probably fall into one sick kind of mental state.
For some of these churches, right?
Yeah.
They don't have a closing time.
Like the vigil or the daytime.
Personally, from my experience, I want to relate with what is going on.
Okay.
As regards to, it will soon be time for the church to be over. Then the church doesn't get over. Maybe it seems like everybody is gone, but someone is out there playing the drums.
Oh, right.
Now, when the whole drums, I don't know if there's an extra thing they have going on. You see the 9 vigils, it's constant.
Oh, really?
It's constant.
Okay.
Now, you have that like almost every Friday. It's hard. Right now, let's move slightly away from the noise pollution with the clubs and the churches, and let's talk about, look at it from the perspective of eateries. I don't know if anybody is aware of, I don't know if you've recently passed by Genesis.
Which of them?
The one at location.
Yeah, I just passed that.
Do you perceive the stuff?
The food?
Not the food.
Oh, what?
There is a smell.
Oh.
I don't know what causes
like
that.
the air pollution kind of thing.
Do you think this sort of sanction that is happening in Lagos can as well be passed down to other businesses in Port Harcourt?
It should, because I've actually heard of a story where there's a company that has it produce stuff, and then there's this kind of, they have it's up of the building, but it shoots out dirt, like dark smoke, so it makes people sick. And some of them, it doesn't shoot out that stuff, but there's this weird smell that it could give you a running stomach. So I think if the government should pay attention to that, it will really help, because most of those things, naturally, it can affect a particular person's health. I could be very healthy.
Right.
I could be very healthy, but there are people that has those internal
just like in the time of suits.
Yeah, and like the time we had corona, you can imagine, they say corona is like malaria. So if you have malaria at that time that corona is there, they might think it's corona. So I might have a particular ailment in me, and with that smoke or that smell, it could affect and now aggravate the whole thing. So I think the government should pay attention to having them stay or do their whole production stuff outside where people are staying too, because kids are growing. They could it could affect their brain, it could affect maybe their breath, it could just affect their heart. So lots of things, like the air is already polluted. Our air is literally polluted. So it's only God that keeps saving us day by day from all these hazardous things we keep perceiving. The dust, now we're in Harmattan period. The dust are literally coming off the ground. So having you produce all those stuffs and then joins with the dust, and then our air when they were even doing this fire stuff. So it's we are already
we need
having a polluted air. So adding yours to it is just out of it. It's just too much.
Businesses should be more thoughtful of people that live around.